You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into another episode of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. Opening day comes out with a victory, people. And before we get to it, let me tell you that this episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Kevin is going to have the day off today. He's getting ready for tomorrow because we're both going to be at the stadium tomorrow in Tampa. So he's going to take the next 25 minutes off. But I'm here with you guys, and I hope that's enjoyable for you all as well. What a game that was to start the season. I don't think you could have scripted a more fun ending, unexpected surprise with some ups and downs. And we're going to get through all of it. First, I think we have to start with the pitching. The pitching with Ryan Pepiot and Freeland, they were fantastic. I mean, Freeland was impeccable, allowing only 2 hits. And we'll get to what happened after he left. But Ryan Pepiot, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, 85 pitches, 58 strikes rather. Just really in command of his stuff. He seemed poised. I know that there were probably some nerves, obviously being his first opening day start, but he looked good. He looked like a guy that belonged. And I think in those times when you're put in a situation where all eyes are on you because there are no other baseball games happening, and they know that, the adrenaline might make you squeeze that baseball a little bit tighter than you're used to. And he didn't let that get to him. He provided what he needed. 6 innings, 2 runs. We will take that any day. But the game unfolded very much like a pitching duel. And then in the third, it started to open up. An error by Junior. Tovar got to go in the double. If you listen to the crossover with Paul Holden, Locked On Rockies host, he mentioned Tovar, and he said that he was going to be a great top 5 shortstop. He only needs to stop with the strikeouts to do so. Well, he got that going with the double. Morel looked kind of funky in the carom in the outfield a couple of times. That was the first time. And then Danny Jansen shows off the arm and nabbed a runner at third. That was not going to be the only time that he was going to show that off, but it was good to see that. Then that's when the bad stuff starts to happen, right? Josh gets that hit, but he quickly exits the game. He was livid, by the way. If you see the replay, he knew right away. After the game, though, when they asked him about it, he said, right oblique discomfort, but it was in the upper part, and he hopes that that's good news because it's not in the same place where he used to have the other injury that he sustained in the oblique. So hopefully, but we won't know that until Saturday. Maybe while Kevin and I are at the game, we get to know what's going on. But regardless, Jose Caballero, he pinch ran for him, 1st and 3rd, and DeLuca promptly strikes out on 3 pitches. Like I said, Freeland at this point, he was impeccable, only allowing 2 hits. The score was 2-0 Rockies. And the Rays were hoping to get to that Rockies bullpen. And boy, oh boy, did they get to that bullpen rather quickly. Kinley gets on the bump for the Rockies, and B-Lowe gets a fastball at the top of the zone and just gets a hit to greet him. 106 miles an hour exit velo there. And then Junior responded with a double down the third base line. So now you've got a second and third with no outs. Morel gets lifted, as it would be a righty against a righty. Jonathan Aranda pinch hits for him. So, righty against lefty, you got that advantage for Jonathan. And he responded with what seemed to be a 3-run bomb, but it was a towering sacrifice fly. And Brandon Lau scored. Junior advanced to third. Now they're only down a run. Jansen comes up to the plate, 4-pitch walk. Then Jose Caballero hits for the first time since pitch running for Josh. And just a great situational hitting opportunity. And I know that BA said this on the broadcast too. Just he expanded his swing just to get through to that slider. Kinley was just throwing sliders and they were all over him. And then DeLuca does the same thing and just tries to just put the ball in play and find a hole, and he does too. So they tie the score with the looper by Jose, and DeLuca also gets it, keeps it going, bases loaded, and you're thinking, okay, something good's gonna happen. Walls gets up there, so again, opening day, you're still with the good vibes. You're not gonna go all negative, right? 2-0 the count. You're like, okay, Walsey, he knows how to take his walks. This is gonna be good. It doesn't end up being good. He strikes out, and then Curtis Mead with the bases loaded. Jacked Curtis Mead. You're thinking, okay, something good can happen here. And it kind of did. It seemed like he got hit by a pitch. He calls it out immediately. There's a challenge. There seemed to be a little bit of a deflection from his elbow pad into the catcher's glove, but the call stands. It was not definitive. And then he grounds out for a forced out. It ends the inning. So it's 2-2 after 7 innings, and that's the way it would be. In the 9th, Jansen again showed his arm with a pick. Like Fairbanks throws a slider on the ground. Jansen gets up, picks it right as if he were a first baseman, and just throws a cannon to second and gets Moniak for the first out. Just a tremendous showing there by Danny Jansen. Fairbanks got a little bit complicated there. Threw a lot of pitches today, walked 2 guys, but he closed it with a strikeout, and it was a very emotional third out. He let it out. It was great to see him be in it that way. And wouldn't you know it, Kameron Misner gets an at-bat because of the Josh Lowe injury, walks it off with his first home run of his career. And that's just the way that the game ended. So a tremendous first game of the season. I know what you're all thinking. Is he going to say it? Well, Kevin's not here, so I have to say it. It's my duty. Maybe 162-0 is going to happen, people. The old baseball cliche joke. There you go, folks. Of course you had it. We've got much, much more to discuss. But first, I got to tell you guys something very important. There's nothing better than catching an MLB game live. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the smell of Yankee tears. And if you're looking to go last minute, Game Time makes getting tickets easier than ever. They've got last minute deals, all-in pricing, and a lowest price guarantee. They take the stress out of buying MLB tickets. It's like knowing you have a reliable bullpen when your starters have already done the job. You can just put your feet up and know that the team's going to win. So today, you can take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Well, so impressions. What went right? What went wrong? Stadium look. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that last one first. Stadium look. I know I'm going to have more thoughts once I actually see it in less than 24 hours. But from what you could see on the broadcast, it's an amazing thing they did with that stadium. It does not look like Yankee Stadium was there at all. The work that was put in there, I mean, apparently like 3,000 adverts, had to be created to be put around the stadium. 3,000, like it was like a mile long. It was very impressive, really, from the telecast. I want you to guys drop it on the comments too, like about your thoughts on how the stadium looked. I saw people on Dale Mabry getting on in line to getting into the stadium. Like it was pretty cool. Like the whole Tampa, we're in Tampa. And I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody that's, outside of Rays fandom, or maybe a Yankee or Red Sox or Chicago Cubs, Dodgers fan who lives in Hillsborough County, who lives in Pinellas County and goes to the games. Maybe they obviously they would understand that, but outside of this region, they just call it Tampa, right? And that's one of my biggest pet peeves, and possibly one of your pet peeves. Regardless, that was pretty cool. Like I saw a slow motion shot of like Rays fans like jumping up and down, and there was like a Dale Mabry street sign behind. That was pretty cool. So that was a good first impression of the 2025 season. Seeing those things completely changed for the Rays. The look behind of the trainers' rooms, the weight rooms, the clubhouse, the dugout, all very well done with Ryan Bass and Doug Wechter and Rich Hollenberg. Like they did a tremendous job showing that and giving us the behind the scenes look. Very, very cool. What went wrong? I think there was only one thing that went wrong, and that's Josh Lowe. He didn't seem too down, but obviously you can never know, and that's exactly what he said. We won't know anything until the imaging comes back tomorrow. So you just got to hope that it's going to be a very, very short stint on the IL, if anything. You'd hope no IL stint, but have you ever heard of somebody just tweaking an oblique and not going on the IL? I haven't, but hey, maybe this is the first time, right? Opening day, we're still hopeful. We're still glass half full people. So yeah, that's honestly the only thing that I saw went wrong. I know some people might say, well, the offense was not there. The offense was not there. First of all, we're not doing this, right? It's 162 games. There are going to be games where the offense is not going to just crack out 5 runs, okay? In fact, it's incredibly difficult to average 5 runs, right? So that's one thing. Yes, the bats were a bit quiet. Yes, it's the Rockies. I get it. Freeland pitched a heck of a game. He did. And I think the other teams are also allowed to be good. And Freeland was really good. So I think for the Rays fans that are like, the offense is the same thing as last year, like, it's just one game. Let's hope not. Freeland also gets to be good too. Okay? When the Devil Rays were the Devil Rays, the actual Devil Rays, not the ones that we get to see on Friday or this year on Saturdays, cosplaying, when we were the actual Devil Rays, didn't James Shields also get to be good once in a while? And Doug Wechter and Edwin Jackson, they Victor Zambrano, like, they got to be good once in a while too, right? So just remember, it's 162 games. We're going to see these types of affairs where the other pitcher is going to be really good, and that's something that we need to remind ourselves of. Long season. Pace ourselves with our takes. Pace ourselves with our mental health and our support for our favorite baseball team. What went right? I mean, what a way to start your first home run for Kameron Misner. Walk off on opening day. How does that get better than that? In fact, I saw on the telecast, they said he's the first Rays player alongside Carl Crawford, or rather than the second ever, to homer on opening day for a walk-off. So that's pretty cool. Good company to keep whenever you're next to Carl Crawford in baseball record books. So good for Kameron Misner, and a guy that wasn't even on the opening day roster to start with. He's only there because Richie Palacios got hurt. That was Richie's spot, right? So a tremendous part of the storyline for opening day is Kameron Misner. We already talked about Ryan Pepiot. I liked seeing Curtis Mead at first base. I like the lineup. Having Mead, Yandy up there, then Lowe, Caminero, like that. Morel, he's got to show us what he's got. I know Evan and Kevin we all feel like he has the potential to be a 25-30 homer guy because he has been that guy. But will he be that guy? I don't know. Can you guys put it on the comments if you would put your hand on the fire for Christopher Morel hitting more than 25 or more bombs? I don't think I'm ready to put my hand on the fire for that. Has he done it? Yes. Would people say, like, how are you? I just don't really trust that. Don't really trust him lasting this whole year with the Rays. And I don't even think that's a hot take, is it? Is it a hot take to say Christopher Morel might not be with the Rays the whole year? I don't know. Maybe you think it's an incredibly mild take, and some others might think it's a very spicy take. I don't know. So the lineup looked good. Taylor Walls, can't wait to see Ha-Seong Kim. And Danny Jansen, fantastic. Showing off that arm, showing off that poise. That's the ninth inning, man. It's the ninth inning. To do that pick, that takes a lot of guts. So very, very cool all around. Honestly, I don't think I have too many bad things to say about this game. I really don't. I think starting off the year with a victory is all you can hope for. And like we said many, many times, you have to start really hot this year. The Rays cannot afford to not go up on the standings right away. They have to. Their July and August schedule blows. It just does. It is not fun. They're going to be living out of a suitcase, and they're going to be tired. July, August, your body's going to be gone by then. Everything's going to hurt. Not one dude in that clubhouse is going to be like, yeah, I'm completely pain-free July and August. No. Someone's going to have a thing on the rotator cuff. Someone's going to have an oblique thing. Someone's going to have a finger thing. Someone's going to have some plantar fasciitis thing. Someone's going to have a calf thing, a hangnail for a pitcher. Someone's going to have something July and August. So they have to start really quick, and winning against the Rockies is exactly what you need to be doing, especially on home games. And boy, if I had just a place to tell you where you could put green Skittles in for a hopeful W this series, I think we have the place. Baseball season is here, and there's no better way to get in on the action than with Prize Picks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. With Prize Picks, you pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, and if you're right, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs, Prize Picks keeps you in the game and is incredibly exciting. You can build out your lineup. You can say, you know what, I'm picking Yandy Diaz for more than one home run. Or, hey, Shohei Ohtani. Why not? More than one stolen base and more than one home run. Dude's a menace. If you download the app today and you use code LOCKEDONMLB, you can get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Price Picks. Run your game. Well, after a walk-off victory, you have to go to social media, right? That's what the kids do, and well, let's do that. We went on social media and we asked, well, what are your opening day thoughts? Drop them below. And Danny Perez says someone needs to give their oblique to Josh. Well, who's out there who is willing to give their oblique? Put it down in the comments. Josh is gonna get in contact with you. Milo says this offense is really bad, and they definitely did not do enough in the offseason to address the issues. We're going to need this pitching staff to be fantastic all year. Okay, Milo. It's game 1 out of 162. My man. Got to slow it down. It's fine. They won. If this was July 24th and this team has really struggled to just get 3 runs across, this comment, I'd be applauding it. I'm like, yeah, somebody gets it. Dude, it's game 1. Milo, let's slow it down just a bit. Peace says, great pitching. Bullpen is one of the best in the league. We have to score with runners in scoring position. That short porch in right field is going to be fun this year. Yeah, they were talking about that on the telecast. BA basically said Brandon Lau is going to have a lot of fun with that. And Jonathan Aranda almost went deep for a 3-run bomb. So I think the offense should be fine. We just got to get that pop from the left side especially. Well, we didn't get it from Lau. We didn't get it from Aranda today. We unfortunately did not get it from Josh, but we did get it from Misner, didn't we? Lefty. That's a good one. At Bulls Flow says, this is a good team. I hope Josh is only out for a short time, if at all. At Bulls Flow, we all agree with that. Luke Williamson says, Mason Montgomery is going to do great things. I feel like you're right, Luke, because a fastball at 99 miles an hour with a very nasty slider, it's a great combination, especially if you're in the Rays bullpen. So I agree with that. And seems like a good dude. Rays, farmhand, all the best luck to him. Clancy71 says, hearing the crowd so involved was awesome. Yes. Heard some sell the team chants around, I believe, the 7th inning when Hunter Biggie, friend of the pod, was pitching. You tell me if that was the mics, or if you were there, let me know. Was that just a couple of people, or was the whole stadium kind of on the same vibe? Me and Kevin are going to get that vibe a little bit better once we go to Saturday's game. 702 at C. Kurtzman says, offense is still the same. That's an issue. Kurtzman. Same like Milo over there. Game 1 out of 162. That is the smallest of sample sizes that you could possibly get in a baseball season. Literally. So come back to me in 2 months. Come back to me on June 1st with this comment and tell me if it's still an issue. If it's still an issue, okay, we got something on our hands. Game 1 out of 162? Nah, fam. We're not doing that. At Josh Freeman Goat. Mason Montgomery is the truth. Happy for Misner. I agree with both things. Mason Montgomery is the truth, and I am happy for Kameron Misner. Good tweets from you guys. Again, solo ep, giving Kevin some rest. Okay, we started the season with a W. That can only mean good things, right? Okay, we want the playoffs. We need 87, 80 more of those. 86 if we're lucky. Let's do that. Hopefully, we're able to, just get a little bit more runs in the beginning of the year, so we don't get to too many of those comments of like, this offense sucks, because it's going to haunt us. I know after what we witnessed last year, people are going to be really focused on the offense, which with good reason, but hopefully they give us a lot to say, maybe they are regressing or they're progressing to the mean. But regardless, if you're going to the ballpark tomorrow, you will see Kevin and I on there. If not, drop it down in YouTube comments. What are your thoughts about opening day, the walk-off victory, all of that, your impressions about the stadium? Leave us a comment. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Thank you for making Locked On Rays your first listen today. For your second listen, why don't you go over to Locked On MLB with our friend Sully. He has everything you'd want to get ready for all of this opening week stuff. And you can find Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. We will be right with you on Monday. Stay safe, and we will talk to you soon.